Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content in my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the video.
I want to protect the people I put in harm's way.
Now we must start the spoiler review. Chat, we're in Afghanistan, okay? And we are inside a Humvee, or as Tony Stark calls it, the Fun V. At least it's going to be fun for the next 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, chat, it's not going to be fun anymore. And we are introduced to Tony Stark, chat, playing the goddamn tunes on a boombox because it is 2008 and people still had boomboxes. People still used MySpace. People still had flip cell phones. Like this is the part. AC/DC, that's right, AC/DC Asylum. Where you can tell, it's like, okay, there's certain things that are dated about this movie. I'm not going to hold it against it, Chad. It was 2008. Some things were on the way out. MySpace was still, incredibly, MySpace was still his thing. Like, Robert Downey Jr., he makes a reference to that, Chad. But we're introduced to Tony Stark. He is in the fucking back of the Fun V. He's got a goddamn drink in his hand as the ice is just shaking around. He's in a fucking looking like a $10,000 goddamn suit, Rolex watch, Chad. And he is looking fancy as fuck. And these soldiers, they're just staring at him, just flummoxed, chat. They don't know what to say because in their midst is Tony Stark, chat, the greatest weapons developer for the United States military, if not the world, of all time. And again, in the first 5 minutes, you're like, Robert Downey Jr. was the only person that could have played this role because he is in complete command. Every line of dialogue he says, chat, is it's charismatic as fuck. It's not charismatic as hell, chat. It's charismatic as fuck. Every time someone asks a question or does a little thing, Robert Downey Jr. like picks up on it and makes it a whole fucking bit. You have the one soldier raising his hands like, what are we, in second grade? You could ask me the question. You have the one driver who is a female soldier, chat, and he goes, after a fucking beat goes, oh, you're a woman. Is it weird that I just keep staring at you? It's like, all this shit is amazing, chat. Thank you. Thank you, Darkstar, for the 5 minutes. God, so much has changed in 12 years. It's true. It's very true. But he's instantly commanded the situation. Chad's like, oh my God, this is so funny. This is a superhero for a new generation. Okay. And eventually, I mean, this is the other thing. Like, people are not taking pictures with cell phones. You're actually still using fucking Kodak cameras. It's crazy. And the one soldier, he raises his hand. He's like, Mr. Stark, can I take a picture with you? He's like, sure, but just don't put it on MySpace. No, he says, would it be cool if I took a picture with you? And you think he'd be like, oh, sure, of course. No, what Tony Stark says, he's like, yes, it would be cool. It would be cool if you took that picture. So he gets the one guy to take the picture. He's like, oh, please, no gang signs. He's like, just doing a peace sign. He's like, nah, put it up there. I'm kidding with you. Just fucking with him, chat. It's like, don't put this on MySpace, though. No, only Facebook, please. And so he does that shit, and then boom! A giant fucking explosion. The car in front of him is just blast out of the way, chat. All the military guys and soldiers are dead. And they stop, and Tony Stark's like, Jesus Christ, what happened? And it's like, Stark, stay inside the car. We gotta assess the situation. One guy, the woman, chat, the female driver, she goes out, shot the shit. She's dead. She is just punctured by hot molten lead, chat. The guy in the passenger seat, he's like, fuck it, just stay with Stark. He goes out there, chat, fucking head blown off. The other guy's like, oh, Jesus Christ, God, no. It's always in threes, chat. It's always in threes. He gets out of there, instantly shot up, fucking shot like shrapnel, chat. Takes him out, shreds his everything. His face and everything, goes inside the car. Tony Stark's like, oh, fuck, well, I gotta get out of here. And he exits the vehicle, chat. Fucking explosions all around him, motor fire and things. And eventually he hides behind a rock, pulls out his flip phone, trying to get a hold of one Terrence Howard, chat, Rhodey Rhodes, or James Rhodes, as people have said tonight. But before he could do that, chat, an unexploded missile lands right next to him. And what's the name on the missile, chat, on that side that he reads? Fucking Stark Industries, where he goes, shit, and he tries to get up fast, he says that, oh, jeez, and then fucking it goes off, just hits him, chat, blasted back. I'm like, oh, he looks okay. He's just kind of, he's woozy and shit, Chad, because he just got severely concussed probably. But then you see it, Chad. You see the blood begin to come up over his fucking white silk shirt. And he rips that shit off, chat. Went right through his goddamn body armor. Right through that Kevlar. Like a hot knife through butter, chat. And Tony Stark, he's just not looking too good at the moment, chat. Not looking too good. And then we fucking cut, chat. We cut, my friends, to 36 hours beforehand. And we are having a good old presentation, chat. It's a showcase of Tony Stark's genius and career. He is the son of one Howard Stark, chat. Helped defeat the Nazis in the 1940s. Helped Captain America himself, chat. Long before we saw Captain America. They're making references. He helped build the atomic bomb, chat. Started Stark Industries, the number one weapons provider to the U.S. military, chat. Making incredible advancements in destructive capabilities around the planet. But chat, sadly, actually during this time, Howard and his wife, they birthed a baby boy they named Anthony Stark, chat. Good old Tony Stark. And already this kid was a fucking genius, chat. He built his first kind of computer at the age of 4. He built his first engine at the age of 6. He graduated from MIT, chat, at the age of 14. This kid, this is the prodigal son. But things are all not bright on the side of the Stark, chat, because in the year 1991, on Tony's 18th birthday or something, when he was 18 years old, Howard and his wife tragically died, chat. Tragically died under mysterious circumstances. But we will know later on that was, in fact, Bucky Barnes, chat, James Barnes, who was the Winter Soldier under the orders of the Soviets, well, technically it was Hydra, assassinated, chat, Howard Stark and his lovely wife. Crazy when you think about that. It's like, wow, everything's so connected. It's great. But he eventually, chat, the Stark Industries was taken over by one Obadiah Stane, the partner of Howard Stark. But then, when Tony turned 21, he held the reins, chat. He took the reins, from Obadiah Stane. He's been running the company ever since, chat. And leading to freedom across the goddamn world for good old Uncle Sam, chat. And here we are today at this award ceremony for God knows, I don't know what it's for. I don't know what this award ceremony is for. I guess for being the best mass murderer. I don't know. But they're presenting this award. And good old Terrence Howard, Chad James Rhodey Rhodes, as I will refer to him now throughout the review. Good old Rhodey Rhodes, he's like, hey, I got my award here, and let's give it to Tony Stark. Tony, come out here. But Tony's not coming. He's like, hey, Tony, you here, buddy? And Obadiah's, he's like, shit. Obadiah's staying. He takes the stage. He grabs the award. He's like, I got you. He's like, I'm not Tony Stark, but if Tony Stark was here, he would just be so thankful for this award. But as we all know, Tony Stark, he just never stops working. Then Chad, hard fucking cut. Tony is playing his ass off. He's doing blow. He's drinking drink after drink. He's gambling billions of dollars away. Chad, fucking billions of dollars like it's water. He doesn't give a shit. He has no inhibitions, chat. No inhibitions whatsoever. His life is a paradise, chat, of hookers, of drugs, of alcohol, and infinite fucking wealth. And he's enjoying himself, chat. And, Rhodey Rhodes is like, where are you? You gotta get over. You gotta come over here and do the things. Like, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm gonna keep on partying, chat. And so he's like, I gotta get home because I'm fucking hammered. But before he can get home, chat, before he can get home and enjoy himself, Happy Hogan's trying to get him out of there, chat. He's accosted by a reporter who wants to ask him some questions, chat. This reporter, whose name I do not know, she is now the reporter lady. She's a reporter lady in the movie, chat. She's very beautiful and very intelligent. And she's like, of course, I will happily talk to you. And basically, he's just making various references, chat, because he wants to sleep with her. That's the kind of guy Tony Stark is, chat. Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. And I've been seeing this. She's manipulative. She uses her looks, chat, to hide her big old brain. And she throws him for a loop. And she's saying, your weapons have been accused of committing untold destruction upon the planet. What do you have to say to that? He's like, how about you come with me home and we can have a thorough interview all night? And she's like, she forgets her sense of morality, chat, and she goes home with Tony Stark, and they just start banging. They start having the hot sex, chat. It's very hot. Everyone's giggling and laughing. They're just boning like two horny teenagers, chat. And then it's morning, and the house wakes her up. The house gets, get the fuck up, bitch. It's Jarvis, chat. Jarvis, voiced by, what's his name? A goddamn Vision, chat. It's the Vision from Solo. You know what I'm talking about? It's good old Vision from Solo, chat. It's good old Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany, Vision from Solo. And he's like, you got to get the hell out of here. It's fucking, we're in Malibu, chat, where we see Tony Stark's opulent fucking seaside mansion, chat. Beautiful. I want to live there someday. Looks great. But she doesn't know. She was like, I'm going to fucking just, I don't my clothes are, because she's just butt naked, chat. You see everything. It's very hot. And she wears one of Tony Stark's shirts. She puts on her little undies, chat. She's walking around, and she goes to the thermostat. Now, as we all know, chat, when you're in a man's house, you don't touch the goddamn thermostat. And she touches, she's like, don't touch that. And she kind of freaks out because the house starts talking to her again. But then she's interrupted, chat. She's accosted by one Pepper Potts, the assistant, the number 2 to Tony Stark. And she tells us, the reporter lady, like, listen, we've gone ahead and we've cleaned your clothes. We washed them and shit, dry cleaned them. And there's a car outside. It could take you wherever the hell you want to go, because Tony Stark, as we know, chat, adhering to the rules, to the ways of one Norman Osborn, chat. Do what you want with him and boom him fast, or as I say, kick him in the curb. And she walks up to good old Pepper Potts. She says, oh, the great, the infamous, the famous Pepper Potts. I still see you're picking up Tony Stark's laundry. And Pepper Potts goes, yes. And I occasionally take out the trash. Ooh, fucking burn, baby. I love it. It's such a good line. Thank you, Dr. for the 5 minutes, Pepper Potts. Taking out the trash, of course, exactly. And so then, chat, we go down to the bowels of Tony Stark's mansion, where he is currently building an engine for a very expensive-looking vehicle. And Pepper Potts goes down there, and he asks her, without even looking, she says how unaffected Tony Stark is. Did she take it well? And she goes, better than you expect. He goes, great, don't care anymore. And she's like making references. This is just showcasing his wealth, chat. It's like, do you want that fucking Pollock painting that's worth like $25 million? And he goes, I suppose, just fucking buy it and store it somewhere. I don't give a shit. Like, he just doesn't give a shit, Chad. He won't even look at something, but he's like, yeah, I'll buy it. Why not? Who cares? Who cares? And she's saying, like, listen, you were supposed to be at the airport like 3 hours ago, okay, with Rhodey Rhodes. You got to be in Afghanistan to showcase the Jericho missile, the latest chat weapons hardware made by Stark Industries. He's like, I'll get over there when I want to get fucking over there. And she's saying, that's great. Well, I'm going to go celebrate my birthday. She's like, it's your birthday today? She goes, yep, it's the same day every day. He's like, oh, I definitely didn't forget. What did I get you? Well, I using your money, I got myself something very nice. He's like, is it really nice? She goes, it really is. He's like, I know, I got goddamn good taste. Again, chat, the chemistry is off the fucking walls with them. It's amazing, the back and forth. That's the thing I like about this movie, chat, is better than any of the Phase 1 Marvel films. Maybe Avengers definitely has this, definitely, but the witty rapport, the back and forth, the dialogue in Iron Man 1 is really, really, really good. That's when it's like, okay, it's not just about the explosions or the action scenes, chat, or the exposition or the references. The fact that you can have 2 characters on screen, chat, and the only thing that's being relied on is the dialogue, chat, back and forth. And if you're entertained by that, you're solid. You're good. You're good to go. And then everything else is just fucking window dressing, chat. If you already like the characters already, you're doing great. So many superhero films, I think, especially like in the early days of the DC EU, failed at that because you never liked any of the goddamn characters. All the dialogue was exposition heavy. And it was just not fun. It was not witty. And so eventually, Chad, he goes to the airport, but he's fucking... You'd expect him. Oh, Happy Hogan, fucking Jon Favreau himself, the director of the film. He's going to drive in there. It's like, no, Tony Stark, he's always trying to make anything like a competition or just have fun. Again, just showcasing the lifestyle, is actually racing his driver to the airport, Chad. And of course he beats him. He's like, I think I lost you back there. He's like, you did, sir, you did. And Chad, he goes over to the tarmac, and Rhodey Rhodes is like, you were supposed to be here 3 hours ago. Where were you? Rhodey, you know me. I'm fucking banging whores. I'm fucking snuffing coke. I'm ingesting copious amounts of alcohol, and I'm building shit, Rhodey. I'm a busy man. Now you're holding me up. Get out of it. Get out of the goddamn way. He's like, oh, they get on the plane, chap. Eventually, they're enjoying themselves, having a nice back and forth. Rhodey, you can still see, is he's pissed off, because he is the liaison between Stark Industries and the U.S. military. And he's also very good friends with Tony Stark. They've known each other since their days at MIT. They both went to school there. And Rhodey himself is very intelligent. Understanding the complexities of a military hardware chip, probably why he acclimated to the War Machine armor so quickly. Intelligent like Tony. And eventually, he's just trying to fucking, get him to calm down, ease up. He's like, hey, you want a hot towel? I don't want a hot towel. You want some warm sake? It's fucking 8 in the morning. I'm not going to drink warm sake. And chat, we meet hard fucking cut. They're drinking warm sake. The flight attendants, by the way, all the flight attendants, all the staff on the plane are all women. Very well-endowed women, chat, if you will. Tony, he has a type. He definitely has a type, chat. And there he's just fucking drinking. Rody Rhodes is just pouring his heart out to Tony. He's like, when I put on this uniform every day, I just think of all the other guys that put on the uniform every day. And Tony's just like, I wanna watch my flight attendants dance, please. He just give a shit. He doesn't care. Oh, my God, I love it. And they're just fucking stripping in front of him, and fucking they're both just drinking sake, chat, and champagne. They're doing well. And then we cut, chat. They're in Afghanistan. They're in good old Afghanistan. And they got you could tell that, like, I love it because Tony Stark, he hides his drunkenness well, but you could still see he's a little buzzed. He has a hangover. Because when he's stepping off the plane, you can tell he's like, his movements are like a little erratic. And when he gets down, he's like, General, how you doing? Shaking his hand and shit. And eventually, Chad, him and Rhodey and everyone, they go out to some zone in Afghanistan, right, to showcase the Jericho missile. And we get one of the, I don't remember the speech, Chad. I don't remember the speech, but it was used in the trailer countlessly. It's so fucking good. Again, Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma in all these scenes is amazing. And like, his whole philosophy is, much like my old man is, I believe in the weapon. You only need to fire once. And he showcases this shit, and we get this cool, actually, this fucking missile goes up in the air, and it bursts baby missiles, and it just eradicates this mountain range behind him, chat. And he puts up his arms like a goddamn god. Yes, I have all this power, and all the fucking smoke and dust goes right in front of him, hits all the guys in the face, and he fucking just goes, chat. Again, much of it, he's an alcoholic, as we all know. And he just goes to a goddamn button. He has like a machine. He has a robot that just produces alcohol for him. And he presses the button, and he just takes, he's like, to peace. Yeah, whatever. And just starts drinking. I love it. And then eventually, he gets a good old call from Jeff Bridges, chat. Jeff Bridges, Obadiah Stane. And he's getting a good old call. And he's like, Tony, it's like, goddamn, it's like 2 in the morning. And he's like, yeah, I just want to call you and tell you about it. He's like, how did it go? Well, he's like, it went very well. They love the Jericho missiles. Obadiah State's like, yeah, that's great. See you stateside, my boy. You're like a son to me. Tony. He's like, I love you, not dad. Hands up the phone. And so Tony, he goes ahead and gets in a Humvee, chat. And Terrence Howard's like, listen, Tony, I think it'd be better if you would ride with me. And Tony Stark's like, no. You're going in the Humvee. This is the fun V, okay? This is a no Terrence Howard zone right now. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you at the airport. He's like, I'll see you at the airport, good sir. And then Chad, fucking hard cut, fucking shrapnel in the chest, getting blown back, concussed. And then we get a very disturbing scene. Check a little body horror here. We see a surgery scene. Well, actually, we see fucking Tony Stark just like has a goddamn bag over his head. Not realizing where the hell he is. You have these people speaking Arabic angrily at a camera. He doesn't know what's happening. Chad, we get some more scenes, some more cuts of him getting open heart surgery in some very not very cleanly conditions, chat. I wouldn't say these conditions are very clean, okay? There's a lot of dirty tools being used. There's a lot of just saliva, a lot of fluids everywhere. It's not great. Not great. Thank you, Chris Harris. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 5 biddies. Metal in the chest. Metal is indeed in the chest, chat. Is in the chest. What was I saying? Dogs, I think of 5 biddies. He should have died from sepsis. Oh, yeah, I'm just shocked he didn't die from sepsis. It would have been... that should have happened. The real world, chat. He would be dead. But then, chat, we cut. He wakes up. He's in a fucking cave somewhere. He sees a man. Like, making soup. And he's shaving himself with the soup. And Tony Stark, he pulled... Great scene, too, because there's, like, a lot of... This is the most, I think, that we see Tony Stark, like, actually wearing, like, armor and shit. Like, actual, practical effects are on him. Like actual armor. I think in all the other films, it's all CGI for the most part. But here we actually see him in, like actual suits. And but then there's other sequences I think are just really, really cool. And eventually, Chad, he realizes that there's like shit inside of him. He's like, and he pulls out this fucking giant hose that's like giving him goddamn oxygen, Chad, like a respirator. Pulls that out. So disgusting, gross. Remember when I first saw the film, that people were like, oh, it's gross. He's like, oh, my God. And he sees like a cup over there with some water or some type of liquid or whatever, chat. He reaches on over. He tries to grab it. He's like, oh, Jesus, he's stuck. And he notices, like, I'm hooked. There's like a battery right next to him. And sees the fucking, all these wires going into his chest. He's like, oh, shit. Oh, God. He rips off the bandage, chat. And he has like a giant fucking motor. Like a goddamn just giant disc in the middle of his chest. He's like, It's like, it's horrifying. We don't know what that is. And eventually, the guy's like, yeah, you don't want to touch that. And Tony Stark's like, what the fuck what'd you do to me? He's like, I saved your life. I saved your life, pal, okay? This is what I found this is what was in your heart. Fucking this, shrapnel. And it's like, yeah, no, I recognize a lot of this stuff. I mean, in my village, people have those sorts of injuries. Usually they don't have a fucking week. They call them a walking dead. And the thing is that stopping because I can only get out this much shrapnel. There's still more shrapnel in there based on these fucking tools. Using goddamn medieval technology right now. The only thing that's keeping that shrapnel out is a magnet, which I've hooked up to this fucking battery. So if you let that magnet off and you're done, then that thing will go right into your heart and you'll be dead. And so you're lucky that I say it. Tony Stark's like, shit. It's like, how long do I have? About a week probably. It's like, fuck. And then boom, the door opens and they are accosted by some individuals. People are coming in, they're speaking Arabic. This one guy, we're going to call him the lieutenant, We're going to call him lieutenant. He's number 2. Lieutenant comes on in, and he's saying all this stuff. And good, I think the character's name is Yinsen. Good old Yinsen, chat. Sean Tube, who plays Uncle Iroh in The Last Airbender. He was the best part of that movie. And he translates for the good old lieutenant. He basically says to Tony Stark, yeah, they're honored to have you here, Tony, as their most honored guest, the greatest mass murderer in American history. And basically the guy walks up to Tony Stark and says, listen, we want you to build your goddamn Jericho missile. So we can use it for evil. And Tony Stark goes, absolutely not. And Houston fucking, Houston's like, they didn't want like that. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm Tony Stark. You can't make me do nothing. And then, chat, we proceed to see Tony repeatedly tortured, fucking waterboarding and shit, going in and out of the water and things, fucking punching the shit, just kicking his ass, shit. Eventually, it gets so goddamn bad. And I was like, okay, this is not working. We gotta show him what we have. And so they fucking lead him and good old Yinsen outside the cave. It's fucking bright and everything. He's carrying his fucking battery pack around with him. And all he sees under these massive tents, all Stark hardware, all Stark weapon. He even knows earlier that those assault rifles are those. I made those. Those are my assault rifles. I made them for my company. Talk to the my buddies. That waterboarding scene is hard to watch. It is. That's just scary, especially when you had the fucking battery there. It's like if you pull one of those wires out, he could die. It's absolutely fucking nuts. And so, he's seeing all this shit, and eventually, he's like, oh my God, these are like, how did they get all this stuff? And it's like, how did they get anything? Like, your weapons are spreading across the world like a fucking virus, Stark. And he asks him, basically shows them designs, the pictures, like, they want you to build this missile, or they'll fucking kill us. And Tony Stark, he puts out his hand, the lieutenant takes it, and the lieutenant doesn't speak English. He says, I'm not going to build that missile. And then good old Yinsen says he's not going to build the missile. The guy's like, he's going to build the missile. Yeah. Also, chat, we see a creepy bald head brown man in the background. He goes, yes, build my missile. Who is not fucking Mandarin, chat. It's not the Mandarin. I don't know the name of the character. I don't know. Is it important? It's not important, chat. He's the main terrorist leader. What Dog Like, go welcome to stream. It's been a hot minute, good sir. Hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. Yeah, welcome. I like how they open Iron Man 3 with the Burma meeting between Tony and Yinsen. That's cool. I like that was one of the best aspects of that film. I like that interaction between them. And we see that fucking Tony, his shit face is all hell. Because then, Chad, we go back into the cave, and Yinsen, as Chris Harris just brought up, he says like, I remember you. You were at a conference in Burma, and Tony's like, I don't remember. He's like, yeah, you wouldn't. You're fucking drunk off your ass. But I never saw someone give a thorough lecture on cybernetics, where the fuck it was, fucking science shit like you did, completely shit faced. And he's like, yeah, it was one of my better moments. And Yinsen's like, listen, Stark, like I don't know how you want to do this, but I got a family. I'm going to see them someday. I want to see them someday. And how do you want to do this? What do you want to do? He's like, well, I'm not going to build this fucking missile. I have other plans. I got something else in mind. And so eventually, but we need all the materials. He's like, oh, let's do it. And so he gets all the fucking terrorist guys to bring in all this materials. Chad needs the workbench and things. All this sorts of stuff. And he starts working, but not even Yinsen understands what he's doing, chat. Like he seems to be building something. The terrorists are confused what he's building, but eventually we find out, oh, he's building a little mini reactor with all of the parts from his various weapons, chat. He's like trying to perfect it. Yinsen's like, what is that? He's like, it's an arc reactor. This is experimental technology, kind of prototype technology that I created. I have a giant one that powers my entire factory in California in the States. This is a mini version. This was what's going to keep me fucking alive so I can build their missile for them, or really our means of escape. And so, Chad, he fucking plugs this fucking thing inside of his chest. And it's amazing. How did he do that? It's cool. But the fucking evil terrorist man is always playing with his rings, Chad. Terrorist organization is called the 10 Rings. He's like, I don't like this. And he goes inside. He goes, what are you doing? Oh, you got to build him a missile. I don't know what the fucking glowy thing is right there. That's not a missile. That's no missile. And he's like, all right, you have betrayed me, Yinsen. And so he fucking puts Yinsen on his knees, chat. Puts good old Yinsen on his knees. Oh, by the way, they've been building the Iron Man armor, too. The Phase 1 Iron Man armor, they're fucking, you see montage sequences and shit. They're trying to put all the shit together and everything. It's like, oh, that was good. That's going to be their means of escape. They're going to build a fucking metal suit, chat. That's how they're going to do it. Because that's what they've been doing for, like, the last couple of months or whatever. But eventually, fucking terrorist guy's like, I don't like what they're doing. He goes in there. Yinsen, you have failed me for the last time. And he goes over to this little fucking oven, chat, and he grabs a hot coal. And he's like, Yinsen, open your mouth. He's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, no, you're going to open your mouth. You're going to tell me what I want to know. But first, I want to put this in your mouth. He's like, ah, shit. And Tony Stark's like, listen, don't do that. I need him. I need him alive. Like, don't hurt him. And it's like, you have until tomorrow to make me my missile, which is not a lot of time in hindsight. That's not a lot of time to make a fucking Jericho missile. But Tony Stark's like, shit. All right, I'll do that. I will make your missile. And they leave, chat. He's like, Yinsen, we got to fucking get working. Come on. And, of course, we get that iconic scene, Chad, we saw in the trailers of him hammering something, fucking Robert Downey Jr. just looking fucking svelte, looking great, Chad, looking buff, looking good. And he's hammering, he fucking puts the helmet in the water, chat, presents it to Yinsen. He goes, all right. So we're going to fucking do this. Like, we're going to do this, chat. And so then the fucking Robert Downey Jr., they're off camera, but there's cameras in their cave, but they position in such a way where they can't see them work in this one spot. And so now they're putting all the fucking armor on Robert Downey Jr., chat. On good old Tony Stark, putting all the leg stuff, the fucking arms, the chest piece and everything. The helmet puts it on him. But in order to power it up, you got to run this computer program. Guy runs computer program. The thing is, the fucking lieutenant guy and evil terrorist man, he's like, they're doing something. I don't like what they're. I don't know where Stark is. Go in there and see what they're doing. So they're running over there, chap. Tony tells good old Yinsen, like, listen, start the program. They start the program. It takes time to load up, though, chat. The power of the suit, and eventually. These guys get over here, chat, the terrorists, and this whole fucking thing, it blows, like, open the door, boom, big explosion, they're taking out, chat, faces shredded with shrapnel, they're dead instantly. Thank you. Talks about the 5 minutes. This movie has the most engineering out of the entire MCU. It definitely does. There's no doubt about that. Nikki Mata, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You're my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well today. Brightburn, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Makers bought an Xbox 360 Slim with Connect button. Yeah, he's just using the Connect. Well, nice, man. Very cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. But chat. Where was I? But yeah, so the fucking thing goes off. They're fucking dead. And the thing is, though, the computer program, it needs more time to load. It needs more time to load, chat. And Yinsen's like, I gotta buy you more time. Stark's like, no, we gotta stick to the plan. You gotta stick to the plan, Yinsen. He's like, I gotta buy you more time. So he takes the gun, chat. He goes, and he runs out there. He's shooting all the guys. He's blasting. He's out there blasting, shit. Eventually, though, he comes to the fucking entrance and he's surrounded by all these guys. All these guys got their guns pointed at poor Yinsen. And eventually, chat, we cut back to Tony Stark, computer program, 100%. And all the power is sucked into the suit. Eventually, we get some of these guys that go inside the cave, but it's all fucking dark. They know where everything is. Until one guy, he's looking around, he look at the suit, and then fucking lights come on. He's like, oh! And he gets his head just comes right off, chat. Fucking smacked in the head. Oh! Witness me! Edgy Berserker, welcome to stream. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Revan Simmons. We'll go by Chris. Currently reviewing Iron Man right now. Doing a spoiler review, a scene by scene breakdown of Iron Man, chat. It's pretty goddamn fun. Pretty goddamn fun. Hi, how was your stream, Edgy Berserker? What were you doing? What were you playing? Anything in particular? I'm curious. I want to know. Pretty sure I like how the Mark 1 suit is very close to the comics. Oh yeah, very, very, very close. I love that. That was a great way to honor the original suit. Right there with you. Eddie Berserker, it was good. Played a good Christian game called Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Oh yeah. No, that must have been an amazing Christian stream. God bless you, Eddie Berserker. God bless you. A chat. Dapple, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. Chris, the Juicy Herman, hope you're having a great night. Joey the Jedi just saw you there. Welcome to the Jedi Stranger Shoe. Welcome to the stream. Just in the middle of my review for Iron Man, chat, fucking guy got his head fucking knocked off. Clean off his body, chat. He is headless. He's been decapitated. And then this is badass. And I love it because this is a great combination of practical and CGI effects. A lot of practical effects in here. Very practical effects heavy. This first movie. The rest of the Iron Man films and his various appearances are CGI heavy. But this is the one movie where they use a lot of practical effects and they work really well, chat. And you just see him in this fucking suit, chat, and he's just blasting people. Hitting them all the side. They're being crushed, chat. As soon as that fucking metal gauntlet hits them, all their internal organs and bone and cartilage just fucking burst, chat. It's like a little bomb went off inside their bodies. Just and that's it. They're dead. And they're just gagging, vomiting everything that's inside of them. All their insides, chat, are now their outsides. It's crazy. It's absolutely fucking nuts. And eventually, he comes to the entrance, chat. He sees Yinsen. It's like, Yinsen, no! Yinsen's been like shot to shit. His insides are now his outside, chat. But we got the evil terrorist man. Evil ball terrorist man. He's like, I got a grenade launcher, and it doesn't work, chat. He fucking misses, and Tony Stark fires a fucking rocket. This is kind of an awkward scene. He fires it behind him, and it burns part of his face. But it was a weird shot, and he's fucking down. I guess, is he dead? We'll find out. He's not, by the way. And he goes over to the Yinsen, chat. And Tony's like, we got to get going, man. We got to get moving. I got to get you up. We got to stick to the plan. He's like, This is the plan. This is how it is. And Tony's like, but you got to go. You have to see your family. And Yinsen says, he's like, my family's dead. My family's been dead for months. They killed them. I'm gonna go see them now. And he's like, shit. That's what he meant by I'm gonna see them soon. He always planned to die, chat. That was always the end. That was always the end game, if you will. And he has this great. I mean, it's this great moment. They kind of go back to the end game where he says to Stark, he's like, Stark, because Stark, he says, thank you for saving my life. And he's like, don't waste it. Don't waste your life, Stark. And he doesn't, chat. In hindsight, he does not waste his life. He does not. The reason why we have Tony Stark, the reason why he was able to defeat Thanos at Endgame, chat, was because of this character of Yinsen. That's where it all originated from, chat, was with this person right here. And then he dies, he passes away, he sees his family again. Tony Stark says, I'm going to fucking kill everybody. He walks out there, chat, and they're all shooting him with the goddamn, assault weapon fire. He's like, my turn, baby. And he activates these flamethrowers, chat, these dual flamethrowers on each arm. And he starts burning the shell. He starts blowing up all the weapons and shit, all the Stark-owned weapons. Also to cover up the evidence, too. It's like, I don't know who's going to know this. But he starts burning all these fuckers. Like, they're just burned alive, chat. It's great. But eventually, it's like the suit can only do so much, chat. It is a Mark 1. Black, she's like 100 minis. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing very well today. No, it's a great action scene, chat. And then this is where you see the CGI here. But even before, like practical effects, the CGI effects, all hold up to this day. This movie really does hold up. There's a few scenes like maybe it's a little iffy, but overall, this is great. The movie's 12 goddamn years and it looks spectacular, chat. And so he's blasting all these people. They're all fucking dying. But some guy gets in a goddamn Gatling gun, chat. And that's the one that does it. That starts penetrating some of the parts of the thing, hits the rotor of the leg. He can't move anymore. He's like, shit. He still burns guys. But then he activates. He fires a fucking missile at the Gatling gun guy. He fucking pops like a hot water balloon. He's fucking dead, chat. What's left of him is on a goddamn wall. But Tony Stark, he activates something on his fucking hip or something, and it's the rockets, chat. The rockets propel the suit. And while he fucking shoots up in the air, all the fucking explosives that are on fire, they all go off, and boom! And he comes straight out of the explosion, chat. He's just flying through the goddamn air. But again, the Mark 1 was never meant for sustained flight. It was more of like a rocket jump. And so it gives out very quickly. And he just comes crashing to Earth, chat. He crashes in the middle of the goddamn desert. He's alive. I'm alive. Jesus Christ, I'm alive. And he just spends the next several hours just walking through the goddamn desert, chat. He doesn't know where the hell he is. He keeps on walking in direction. Hopefully someone will find him. And chat, overhead, we have 2 Apache helicopters. They fly overhead, chat. And they're, he's like, he's screaming. That's how you'd scream too, chat. He just fucking collapses on his knees and goes, peace. And great reference to the character who said, don't do gain signs. No, go ahead, throw that up there. Of course, that guy fucking died. He got his fucking face full of shrapnel, chat. But it was a good way to honor him, in my opinion. And then the helicopter lands, and who's fucking running towards him, chat? Who's power walking towards Tony Stark? One Terrence Howard, chat, Rhodey Rhodes. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, how was the fun thee? Huh? Was it fun? He's like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Show. Martin loves your screams. Oh, thank you, Show. Yeah, I know. I'm like, huh? Thank you, Shaw. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 10 videos, good sir. Moist Mike, Iron Man 1 was awesome. 2 and 3 are about the same tier. Yeah, no, I think Iron Man is definitely the best. Iron Man is the best Iron Man movie of the standalone film. Of the standalone, yeah, his trilogy. There's no doubt about it. I'm not a big fan of 2 or 3. But Iron Man 1 is great. I'll tell you right now, Iron Man, full price. Full price movie. I went ahead in my review, but it's a full price film. But yes. So they fucking get him up there, chat. They fucking take him back to the good old States. We got Happy Hogan. We got Pepper Potts. She's got little tears in her eyes. She's a little water-eyed, chat. The fucking plane opens up. Tony Stark's in a wheelchair. He gets like, I don't need to be in no goddamn wheelchair. He walks over to Pepper Potts. He's like, how you doing? She's like, I missed you. He's like, I know you did. I know. Why'd you miss me? Because I didn't want to have to look for another job. I hate job hunting. He goes, ha! All right, get in the goddamn car. We got work to do. And so they get into the car, chat. And, she's like, okay, Happy, take us to the hospital. And Tony's like, I don't want to go to no goddamn hospital. Like, Tony, you need to go. I was like, I don't want to go. The first place I want to go is cheeseburger. I want a cheeseburger. I've been in fucking captivity eating fucking rock soup for God knows how long, for 3 goddamn months. I want an Americana cheeseburger. Take me there. And then I want you to call a press conference. Pappy's like, a press conference? Yes, emergency press conference. And she calls that press conference, chat. And then we come up to, I guess, I don't know, it's like the PRs. I guess it's the headquarters of Stark Industries. Fucking car pulls up. Good old Obadiah Stane, chat. He's there. He's like, oh, Tony. The way that Jeff Bridges says Tony in this movie is fucking hilarious, chat. I absolutely love it. He pulls on up. Opens the goddamn, Tony's just shoving cheeseburger after cheeseburger in his fat gob, chat. He just can't help himself. Although he would do that too if you haven't had cheeseburger in a good while, chat. He's been eating fucking rock soup for all. He's like, oh, I love it too. This little improvised line with Jeff Bridges. It's like, did you get me one? He's like, no, I don't. He does, by the way. He had one in his pocket the entire time. He's like, he eats the one that he has, and then he gets to the conference, chat. He pulls out a fucking another cheeseburger. You could have given that to Jeff Bridges. So selfish, Tony. So selfish. But in hindsight, he didn't need to because he was fucking trying to get him assassinated and shit. So hindsight, it was good. It was a good thing he didn't give him that burger, chat. But he goes to fucking press conference, chat. All the reporters are there. He's like, and Jeff Bridges, he's about to start talking, but Tony Stark's like sitting, like right in front of the podium, just sitting down, and he's like, Tony Stark's, you know what? I got this. You know what, guys? Let's all sit down, make this informal. All the reporters like sit cross-legged, like, yeah. And he's like, you know what? Tony gets a little melancholy. He gets a little melancholy. He's like, he talked to Obadiah, sits next to him. He's like, Obi, I never said goodbye to my father. When he passed. I never was able to ask him if he ever had any regrets about what he did, about the trajectory of this company. I just never knew. I just never, at the time I just never cared. I never cared to ask. And then he gets up, everyone remains seated. And it's like, in my time in captivity, it's got me thinking. It's got me thinking of how I've not been accountable. I've not held myself or this company to be accountable for our weapons. So that is why today I am completely shutting down the weapons division. I was like, whoa, shutting down weapons division. Obadiah's like, don't do that. And it's like, I'm shutting down the weapons division. And Obadiah says like, we're going to just do, we're just talking. We're all happy Tony's back. Yeah, Tony's back. And then, chat, we cut to the big old arc reactor. And Tony's looking over it. By the way, Tony's at the arc reactor, and I love that they put fucking Jeff Bridges in one of those little goddamn segways. It's so fucking goofy. He's like, where is he? Smoking a big old cigar. Chat, he goes on in there. And Tony's like, so how'd the board take it? It's like, they didn't take it that well. He's like, yeah, I know, I heard. The stock's going to drop about 40 points. A minimum. Drop a minimum of 40 points, Tony. He's like, listen. And even Tony's like, listen, I'm sorry I didn't tell you ahead of time. He's like, we're partners in this. You're like a son to me. Okay, that's what the villains typically say. George said another 5 minutes. Stock takes immediately after the announcement. Of course, if it happened, they're going to drop by 40 points. Actually, 56.3 points. That's what happens. What I missed, Brownie, we're in the middle of a little conversation between Jeff Bridges and Tony Stark. And Jeff Bridges, he's trying to, listen, you got to keep me in the loop of this kind of things, all right? Tony, we're fucking weapons makers. We're ironmongers. He's an ironmonger, chat. And you got it. That's what we do. And Tony's like, what about arc reactor technology? Arc reactors. Listen, we built this to keep the fucking hippies off our goddamn backs, okay? You know, that's why we built this. But he's like, listen, I think it can work. I think we can do it. He's like, no. This was a dead end. This is always a dead end, you know? And so he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, let me see it. He's like, who fucking told you? He's like, was it Rhodey? Was it Pepper? And he's like, just let me see it. And he's like, it was Rhodey. It was Rhodey. And he reveals it, reveals the arc reactor. And Obadiah's like, ooh, shit. He's like, this is so good. We're just gonna keep this a secret, okay? We're gonna keep this a secret for right now. But you guys share this stuff with me, okay? You guys share this stuff with me. And you know, you got to keep a low profile for me too. Please keep a low profile for me, Tony. And Tony's like, that absolutely, I'm going to keep a low profile. Why wouldn't I do that? I'm going to do that for the rest of the goddamn movie. No doubt about it. And so eventually, Chap, you know, he goes back to his place, and he is overcome with emotion by everything that he's been going through. He's like, I have to make a concerted effort to improve the world. Okay, I've made multiple mistakes, and I'm going to do something. I don't know even what it is yet, but I know I have to do something in order for all these people, in order for the world to recover from my negative influence on it. That's this whole thing. Meanwhile, I'll also come back to Afghanistan, where the fucking evil, bald-headed brown man is, and he's recovered the Mark I armor, Chad, and his guys are trying to put it together. He's like smoking cigarettes, like, yes, I'm evil. And so they're putting that together. Meanwhile, chat, we get a lot of montages here, but they're fun. Like, this is the best movie when it comes to actually seeing him create the armor, because all the other movies gets very derivative, in my opinion. Like, this is the one where I actually love seeing him go over all of the different variations that are like Mark II and Mark III. Like, in the second one, I was like, I didn't like that in the second one. Like, I like the different armor types, that's fine, but I never liked seeing him create more armors in the future films. Even in 3, I was like, okay, I didn't need all this. And I never felt necessary. But here, I like that they showcased how he does it. I like that we see him going over like from every aspect of just the flight boots to the leggings to the repulsors, chat. Again, it's all practical, like a lot of practical effects are on his body, chat. CGI assisted, of course, but I do like that we see that, okay, he's wearing all this stuff, and it looks. The movie, yes, it's ridiculous and it's over the top. This guy flying around in a metal suit and everything, iron suit, if you will. But it does feel, because we see so many practical effects in this movie, it feels grounded. It feels really grounded. I like that. Darkseid Technologies, the terrorist leader, is Raza, by the way. I never say his name, by the way. Raza, chat. Thank you. Raza. Appreciate that. Yeah. Do we ever see him building armor on the other? No, we do. Like in 2, I think we see him building armor. In 3, he builds like a shit ton. But here, I like that we see it like over time, and it's all kind of piecemeal. That's pretty cool. I like that. We have him like he's first testing out the repulsor boots. Like he designs it. He has his little fucking his little AI robot, his little robot buddy, the arm. I forget what the fuck he is, but he's dumb. He always refers to him as like, you are useless. I hate you. But he loves him. Chetty absolutely loves him. I love that fucking little robot arm. He's like, get out of my way. All right, no, just fucking do that. Just fucking do that. You are terrible. You're the worst. You are my worst creation. He's always sad. And we get that one scene, chat. Oh, thank you again, Chris, for the 5 biddies. If I ever made a big deal of using Jurassic Park approach on this movie, use practical as much as possible, so it's not as jarring when it cuts to CG. He nailed it. That's why I think this is the best one. That helps. So I know in 2, it's a lot of CG, and 3 is just mostly CG. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that, Chris Harris. And the Avengers film is mostly CG, if not all of them. But. So we get like, there's some parts of the montage that I think just work the best. I mean, the one where he's testing out the repulsor boost, chat, where he's like, okay, we're gonna test it at 10%. 3, 2, 1, boom, and he fucking blasts off, chat, hits the goddamn concrete wall, falls down. What a great visual gag. There's the one where the fucking arm is always putting him out, even though he's not on fire. He's always using the fire extinguisher on him. And then you see him testing out against like, no, we're just going to go for a solid 1%, and then 2.5%. He's like flying. I love that they show him getting used to flying this thing. Like, he's all awkward. He's scared. He's very anxious. And he's moving around. Like, it's crazy when we see him like struggling to maintain his balance, you know, at like 2.5% power. And then we look at like fucking Infinity War and Endgame when he's flying around and blasting things, and it's incredible to see the stark difference between that. It's really cool. It shows his growth as a hero. I love that. Chris Harris is also the best worst game of Operation ever. Oh, yo, no, I'm gonna get that. Don't get ahead of me now. Okay, I mean, because all of these are kind of happen at the same time. And then we get that one scene where he has to improve his little mini arc reactor. And think of the 10 minis, which one failed and dropped on the Shelby. I don't remember that one. Oh, is his name Shelby? Is that what the little arm is called? That one's the Mark II armor. We'll see that again. That's part of one of the experiments that he has when he does the first test flight of the Mark II armor. That's where he learns about the icing problem. And then we get the great scene, again, establishing the wonderful chemistry between Robert Downey Jr. and Pepper Potts when he basically, because she doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Obadiah doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Like, Obadiah even tells him, like, in one scene, like, listen, I had a fucking board meeting, and, like, they're going to fucking lock you out, okay, of everything you're doing. They think you have PTSD. And Tony's like, but we own the majority of the shares of the company. Yeah, but the board has powers too, Tony. They filed an injunction against you. They're concerned, okay? You got to give me something. You got to give me something to show him. He's like, I can't show you because he doesn't trust Obadiah. He trusts very few people, chat. He tried to involve Rhodey at one point. He went to Rhodey Rhodes. He said, listen, I'm working on something. And Rhodey's like, oh, thank God. We all thought you lost your goddamn mind. So what do you want me to tell the brass, the military? He's like, no, this is not for the military, man. So this is something personal. He's like, Tony, you goddamn asshole. You're losing. He doesn't want anything to do with Tony anymore, chat. Him and Rhodey are fighting now. But you get that wonderful scene between Pepper Potts and Tony Stark where she's like, hey, Pepper, because she's like calling out for him. He's like, I need your help. I need your help with something. She comes down. And he's on like a fucking gurney and everything. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in a bit of a situation. I gotta take out my chest reactor. He's like, what? Gotta take it out. And the thing is, I didn't realize I need another pair of hands. I've been sitting here for 3.5 hours. And I don't trust the goddamn arm. He's gonna get me killed. He's gonna use the fire extinguisher on me. I'm gonna have a cardiac arrest. And she's like, what do I need to do? He's like, well, you take that. This is my heart. And she's like, what is this? And he's like, it's fucking garbage. Don't even need it anymore. And which is great, chat. That thing comes back in Endgame. That's the funeral scene. They actually use that thing, that his original heart that he created in that fucking cave, on scraps. She's like, okay, shit. And he says, okay, what do you need me to do? He's like, you just gotta reach in there and you gotta pull on this copper wire. Okay, just pull on that. You guys gotta pull on the copper wire. She goes, okay. She's like, oh my God, it's like this pus. He's like, it's not pus. It's not produced by my body. It's from the discharge in the machine. It smells. Like, oh yeah, it smells. And she goes on in there. He's like, now don't touch the walls. Don't touch. It's like fuck. It's like a game operator. Don't touch. He's like, and it fucking buzzes against him. He's like, don't do that. And he's like, hey, whatever you do, just don't pull out the fucking brass ring. You fucking pulled it out. What are you doing? She's like, well, what do I do? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just going in the cardiac arrest. She's like, why did you tell me? He's like, I did tell you. You didn't listen to me. She's like, okay, what do I do? He's like, all right. Take the advanced arc reactor. You gotta get in there. You gotta get in there and just plug it in the hole. And she's like, shit. She takes the jet. She plugs it. Gets really deep inside there. She plugs and he's like, and it says, fucking he wakes up. It's like, ooh. She's like, are you okay? He's like, I feel better than ever. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, plug a little sucker and she plugs it in. And she's just sitting there with these pus covered hands. And she's like, he's like, appreciate you. That's why you're the best assistant in the world. And he just fucking walks off. And she's just sitting there traumatized. I love it. Oh, Alex Bernal 8. Thank you for the follow, good sir. Appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. It all connects in the end. It really does. Really does. Good to see you, the Bushmaster. Hope you're doing well. I guess you could say she was inside of him. Oh, she will be. Or he'll be inside of her eventually. Because don't ever make me do that again. That's the line. Darkseid for the 5 minutes. Thank you. He was surprisingly calm for what could have been his last one. I mean, that's like his personality for the most part. Like this is still in the time when everything was kind of a joke, where he's like interaction with certain characters, which is pretty cool. Crusaders, thank you. Dummy, that's what he's called. Dummy. That's the name of the fucking arm. I love it. That's a great name for him. You are correct. You are correct. Yeah, any interaction he has with the armor is great. And so we get various more scenes of him testing out the technology, the repulsor rays, where he's like, this is actually a flight stabilizer, but it actually fires fucking repulsor rays. He's like, oh shit, I made it more stronger than I needed to be. And Pepper's just kind of like scared. She's like, what are you doing? It's like personal project. Don't even worry about it. Eventually, chat, we get to the point of the film when he has put together the first, the Mark II, officially the Mark II. It's all silver, chat, reminiscent of War Machine's armor. Very reminiscent of War Machine's armor. He's like, all right, we got the flight stabilizers all worked out. We're going to do a fucking test flight now. He activates that fucking thing. He shoots out of his fucking Malibu residence jet. And we get this really fun and whimsical flight sequence when he's traveling around Malibu and the coast of California, chat. Fucking kid. He goes in, like he has like technology advanced helmet. He's able to see great distances. Sees this kid eating ice cream. He goes, holy shit, Mom, he's a flying man. She goes, shut up, Billy. And the spousal abuse, chat, child abuse he sees on camera. Actually, you know what, Jarvis? Jarvis is inside of his head, chat. I like this too, chat. That they made Jarvis an AI, or I guess I guess he is an AI. He is an AI, not a VI. Maybe he is a VI. I don't know how you describe Jarvis. Yeah, but he's like an AI intelligence. And he is virtual reality. He's a VI. He's a virtual intelligence, and how he's not like a human, because Jarvis is very derivative of Alfred from Batman, and so I thought it was very inspired that Jon Favreau said, like, let's go ahead and make him. Let's set him apart from Alfred. It's like, no, he's another creation of Tony Stark. I thought that was brilliant, and I'll say this, chat, very inspired to then use Jarvis, the VI, to be kind of the main personality of Vision. Very, very inspired. Very smart on Joss Whedon's part, I'd say. I like that. But yeah, so he's doing the fucking flight. He's like, all right, let's fucking see how far this thing can go up here. But she's like, sure, we haven't run those tests. He's like, don't worry about it. And he flies up, he's in the goddamn stratosphere. But then the suit begins to ice up. And he's like, I never, the ice problem. And the suit all the systems just shut down. And he just starts falling. He's like, oh shit, like Jarvis is offline. He's trying to get all the ice off him, activate some flares. And eventually that heats the suit enough where the ice falls off. And he saves himself from like a very terrible death, chap. Like, if he fucking fell, he would have been goddamn jam. He would have been jelly, chap. Would have been bone, meat, jelly in that suit. But he stops himself from fucking falling to his death. He's like, all right, that's enough for tonight. Let's go back to the house. He's like on his rooftop. He's like, all right, go ahead and shut off the fucking repulsor. He fucking shuts him off, chap. But he falls through his roof, falls through the first floor, and then falls into his goddamn basement onto his very expensive fucking sports car. And then you see it, chat. Fucking dummy the arm goes right over to him and fucking sprays him with the fire extinguisher. And he's like, fuck me. It's such a great goddamn scene, chat. Eventually, though, we cut. He's enjoying a nice green sludge shake of the healthy kale shake, chat. And he's putting together the Mark III armor now. Putting together that good old Mark III armor. It's looking fancy, but it's like a little ostentatious. It's all gold. And he's like, you know what, Jarvis? Why don't you put a little hot rod red in there? And it's like, oh, very subtle, sir. And it looks even, and it's the classic Iron Man armor. At least the one we all know of. I know the classic one is the Mark I, the gold armor, but the hot rod red. That's what brings the fucking suit together. And he's like, how long until that's gonna be ready? He's like, 5 hours. So he's like, great. And he turns on the fucking news chat, and apparently people are having a goddamn shindig at Stark Enterprises. That's what they're having right now. It's like, what's going on? I'm not at this shindig right now. And he's like, well, I'm going to crash my own fucking party. He's like, you go ahead and make the suit, Jarvis. I'll be back in 5. He's like, sounds good, sir. So good old Tony Stark, chat. He pulls up to this place looking fly as hell, looking really good in this goddamn suit. That's when we get the first cameo, chat, of the MCU of one Stan Lee. Robert Downey Jr. mistaken Stan Lee for Hugh Hefner, chat, as you typically would, surrounded by these very voluptuous, well-endowed ladies, chat. Stan's like, Excelsior. He's having a goddamn good day. He goes up the goddamn steps, chat. He orders a fucking drink, orders a goddamn whiskey. Which, by the way, fucking Coulson's in here, Clark Gregg. He's like, his running gag, chat, is the fact that they have this very long name for the organization he represents. Now, does anyone want to help me out? What's the name of his fucking organization? Like, I know it's S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's the, what do they call this? The, let me get it, chat. The Strategic Hazard Intervention Espionage Logistics Directorate, or no, Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. And he's like, Jesus Christ, you got to fucking shorten that. He's like, yeah, I know, we get that a lot. And he's like, can we set up a meeting? We got to debrief you for the stuff that happened again. He says, yeah, sure, fucking meeting, yeah. Because, chat, he's distracted by fucking Gwyneth Paltrow and her bare back, chat. She's a beautiful blue dress she's wearing right now. She's just down in whiskey on the rocks. And we just see this very lovely dress where it goes all like bareback all the way down to like the tip of her butt, Jay. You see a little bit of crack, a little bit of booty butt crack. And he goes over there, he's like, oh my God, you're so hot. And she's like, this is inappropriate. He's like, I know, but this is 2008, so I could be inappropriate. It's okay. And he's like, you want to dance? She's like, absolutely not. And they start dancing, chat. And she's like, this is just so awkward. I'm dancing with my boss in this dress with no back, and I haven't worn deodorant. He's like, you may stink, but you look great. No, he says, no, you look great and you smell great. Don't even worry about it. And they're like, oh, the chemistry, chat's off the fucking charts. And eventually they're getting so into me. She's like, you know what? We want to get some air. He's like, let's go get some air. Let's go do that, chat. And they wander outside, and they're having that great interaction between them, that great chemistry. She mentions, like, is this the gift? Is it the gift that I got myself for my birthday? He's like, the one I got you. He's like, yep, I do have good taste. He's like, you certainly do. And they get in the smooching territory, chat. Very smooching. It's very like, They stopped. They stopped because it's just weird. They've been working together for so long, but they're just about to smooch. And she said, you want a drink? You want a drink? She's like, yes. I would like a vodka martini. Fucking very dry. Actually, like all the olives you got. And he's like, sounds good. He goes over to the fucking bartender chat, and he's like, 2 vodka martinis, a plethora of olives, make one dirty. And then Chad, who walks over, the reporter lady who he slept with at the beginning of the film. She's like, I never thought you'd show up here again. And he looks at her and goes, Kathy. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Kathy, yeah. And she goes, yeah. So I thought you were, I can't believe I bought you. I can't believe that I thought you changed. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, listen, if we want to have an interview, we can set something up. He's like, no. That whole fucking speech about you shutting down the weapons division. Look at this shit. Shows in the pictures chat. And it's like a live feed. And he's looking at this shit. It's like, what the fuck? And it's a live feed of, I guess it is pictures. No, it is pictures chat. Of that same area in Afghanistan, or a different area in Afghanistan, with all Stark weapons, like new Stark weapons. He's like, what the fuck? What is this? He's like, I didn't authorize this. Well, she says, well, someone fucking did. And who's at this party, Chad? Who does Robert Downey Jr. speculate may have sold those weapons? Obadiah Stane, Chad. Good old Jeff Bridges. And he goes over to Obadiah Stane, and he says, listen, did we fucking sell these weapons? Obadiah's like, Tony, why don't we take some pictures? Hey, picture time. I love that line. Picture time. And then then it's revealed, Chad, Jeff Bridges is a bad guy. Who would have known? And he says, Tony, who do you think locked you out? Who do you think filed the injunction? See, I'm just protecting you from yourself, Tony. Okay? We're ironmongers, all right? We are fucking weapons. We got to make some money some way, Tony. And it's like, listen, we'll you know what? Why don't you think about it? Why don't you come to your good graces, and we'll touch on this again. All right, kid? All right, boo-boo? Good old pat on the cheek, Chan. Fucking Obadiah walks off. Tony has been betrayed. He's been betrayed by his father figure. Show, damn, Chris, your New York speech ×2 tonight, feeling yourself. I don't even know when it happens sometimes. It just takes over. It just takes over sometimes. Apologies, Chan. I'm like a werewolf. I don't know when it's going to happen. I can't predict it. And they're double dealing under the table, Chad. And he walks off, and Tony's just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then, Chad, we get various fucking scenes. Obadiah doing evil shit. He fucking meets with the 10 Rings guy. Oh my God, it's revealed he's in league with Raza, I guess. Raza, the 10 Rings leader. And yeah, he goes in there. Because the 10 Legion wants to present him the Tony Stark, the Iron Man suit, the Mark I. And he's like, yes, I thought the Jericho missile, that was the most advanced technology on the planet in terms of weapons. He's like, no, these iron suits, these iron soldiers, if you will. I present this to you as a gift, Obadiah Stane. In return, you will make me these suits so I may rule all of Asia. And good old Jim Bridges goes up to somebody. He's like, now why the fuck would I do that? And he activates chat, this little like weird. I love this. This is a cool weapon. I like this little thing, this little gadget. It's a paralyzing via sound, like in a very cute sound. It paralyzes you and it fucks up your head and shit, and you bleed out your ear. And it's like, yeah, the wonders of technology never worked on your side of the world. Little racist there of Jeff Bridges, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking pack this up, and but don't worry about it. The little paralysis only lasts about 15 minutes, but you have bigger concerns. And he fucking like rubs his bald head, and he walks out. Chat, all of his guys, all the 10 Rings guys are fucking dead. Chat. They're all goddamn dead. Not looking good. Not looking good right now. And eventually, Chad, we cut back to good old Tony Stark, and he's just mad about the entire situation that's been going on, and he's just upset. He's watching the news reports of all these people who have been killed by the 10 Rings. He's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do it myself. U.S. military's not doing anything. These are my weapons. I'm gonna solve it my goddamn self. He puts on the armor, Chad, the first flight of the Mark III, and he fucking blasts off, Chad. He breaks the goddamn sound barrier. And then we cut to the lieutenant, Chad. Lieutenant of the 10 Rings, the big chubby guy. And he's ordering his guys to fucking separate the men from all the women and children so they can slay them as soldiers and then use the children and the women as slave labor. It's terrible. And you get this one family, this one guy who's trying to protect his wife and kids, and he's like, no, separate them. He's gonna kill him, chat. And the little boy of the dad, he comes over, he's like, bye, Dad, no. And they hug Chad. He's like, and he hits the kid, Chad, backhands the kids, and he just starts fucking kicking the dad over and over again, doing like a Joe Pesci, motherfuck you. And he's like, kill this dog, kill him. And right before he's about to shoot him, chat, bow, now, Iron Man comes down and he just starts wrecking shop, chat. These guys get their asses, get fucking backhanded, metallic backhand, chat. Flings you apparently 20 goddamn yards. People getting shot to shit, shotgun blast, repulsor rays, your insides or your outside shit exploding on the inside, like vomiting blood. And eventually, though, these guys, they have the women and children chat. This is a great scene. All at gunpoint. They're saying, we'll fucking kill them. Lower your fucking repulsor rays. I mean, he lowers your repulsor rays, chat. But all he does, by the way, no dialogue from Robert Downey Jr. here, because he's just fucking serious in this situation. He's just goddamn serious. And his helmet just, I think he says, Jarvis, you got him? He's like, I got him, sir. And he targets everyone, and these little fucking rockets come out, and they all die. It goes in their fucking heads, boom, their brains explode, and they drop down dead. This got a huge cheer in my audience. It was like, whoa, what a cool scene. And he goes over to the big old chubby lieutenant guy, chat, goes to the fucking wall and drags him out through the brick wall and throws it to him. He's like, there you go, guys. He's all yours. And he flies off. And they tear his fucking fat ass apart, chat. You know that's what they did. They killed him. And then he's up in the goddamn air. The thing is, though, U.S. military, we just got a fucking bogey that took out like this area. It's like, do we have any guys here? He's like, no, sir, we don't. And apparently they're using human shields. We wouldn't have greenlighted that. It's like, who the fuck is this? We don't know. Let's get fucking Rhodey Rhodes in here. Maybe he knows something about it. And they get Rhodey Rhodes in there. He's like, you know anything about this fucking bogey? He's like, no, I don't. But I don't. But let me make a quick call. He calls Tony Stark. And, Tony's in the suit while he's flying. And he's like, yeah, who is this? It's hard to hear. Talk up. He's like, Tony, do you have any, tech in this specific area? He's like, no, why would I have that? No, it's like, why you sound so anxious? I'm just fucking, I'm jogging. I'm jogging right now. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, listen, it's hard to hear, man. I'm going through a tunnel. I'm driving through a tunnel. So you just said that you were jogging. Yeah, no, I'm driving to then go jogging. And he's like, okay, so you're saying you don't have anything? He's like, listen, I don't have anything there, man. It's like, all right, because we're about to blow this fucker out of the sky. And Tony's like, ah, shit. And we get these two fucking F-16s, chat, fly up right. And a great action scene was so fucking fun. Of these two F-16s, and then we get a fucking protracted dogfight between Iron Man and these two F-16s trying to blast them out of the sky, chat. And Iron Man's using every fucking trick of the book trying to avoid them, but eventually you just can't. There's limitations to the Mark III armor at this point, chat. But eventually they do fucking blast him at one point, and he's on the underside. That's what they're like, oh, we lost him, so we don't know where he is. And the one pilot notices on his buddy that Iron Man is stuck under there, just holding on to. He's like, there, he's on your belly. Fucking do flips and shit. Do a barrel roll, just like a fucking the rabbit would. And Star Fox. And he starts doing barrel rolls, chat, and fucking Tony, he flies off. But then, oh no, he falls back and he hits the wing of the other plane, chat, tears that shit like a hot knife through fucking butter. And that plane's fucking spinning out of control. He's like, I gotta eject. And he fucking ejects, chat. The parachute doesn't go off. Doesn't go off at all. It's like, what's gonna happen to the guy? It's okay, though, because fucking Iron Man's a superhero, chat. He flies down there. He grabs on that fucking thing. Boom! Activates the parachute. Guy is saved. Iron Man, he speeds away. And also, he calls Rhodey. He's like, Rhodey, I just want to tell you that was me, so don't be mad. He's like, what? What are you telling me? That was you? He's like, yeah, sorry about that. And eventually, Chad, he flies back to Malibu, where he tries to take off all his armor, Chad, but it's very difficult. Makes it easier in the latter films. Pepper sees, she's like, oh my God, were you doing all that crazy shit? He's like, yeah. She's like, you're going to get yourself killed. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. By the way, could you go to Obadiah's office for me and download some secret files? I think he's the bad guy of the movie. Can you do that? She goes, sure, I'll go do that, chat. Meanwhile, we cut to the reactor room at Stark Industries, where we see fucking Ralphie from Christmas Story, chat. Ralphie, who also co-wrote this movie with Jon Favreau, chat. Ralphie from Christmas Story, who also is in Spider-Man Far From Home, works for Mysterio, chat, which is fucking awesome. So what a great callback at Far From Home. And Obadiah Stane has him trying to replicate the arc reactor technology, but it's too goddamn difficult. Trying to make the Iron Man armor. They got their fucking prototype ready and everything, but they need the arc reactor, and they can't fucking solve that. And he's like, Mr. Obadiah Stane, we ran into a bit of a hiccup. We just can't do it. What you're asking is impossible. We get the line, chat. Tony Stark built this in a cave out of some scraps. And he's like, well, sir, I'm not Tony Stark. And Obadiah's like, indeed you are not. You are not. Maybe we'll put you in a fucking cave and give you some scraps. See how that works out. No Jake Gyllenhaal yet. That's only in Civil War. Imagine at this time, chat. Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal was already working for Tony Stark. That would be interesting. Quentin Beck. In a cave out of a box of scraps. I love that line. Tony. Eventually, chat, Tony Stark. Obadiah is doing some more evil shit. Tony's like, whoo, what a fucking day. Oh, no, that's the thing. So then we're with Pepper Potts, chat. So Pepper Potts, she goes to the office of Obadiah Stane. I guess technically she works for him and Stark, so it's not unusual that she would be in his... No, she's in Tony Stark's office. I guess in Tony's computer. I don't know how it is. Is she in Obadiah Stane's office or Tony Stark's office? I don't know how that's established, because I guess Obadiah goes over, and it feels like it's his office, but also Tony's. Maybe they share it off. It doesn't matter. And so she goes to fucking Stark Enterprises chat, and she plugs a little flash drive in there, and she just clicks on files marked evil plan, and she sees that Obadiah Stane was the one who set up Tony's kidnapping. Originally wanted the Ten Rings to assassinate him so he could take over Stark Enterprises, but the Ten Rings didn't want to do that because they didn't know the target was Tony Stark. So they were very upset by that. It's Obadiah's office. Thank you, Chris Harris. I didn't know. I was confused, but I was like, okay, because he makes a reference to... Tony Stark gets the best stuff, like this is Tony's liquor or something. So I was unsure. No, thank you for the clarification, Chris Harris. So we're in Obadiah Stane's office. So she just automatically hacks into his computer like easy because he doesn't have a good password chat. And she get Ironmonger armor's there. All the schematics for that. The 10 rings. She downloads all this shit and it's oh no, but while she's downloading chat, fucking Obadiah Stane's like Pepper. She's like, oh shit. And he's like, how you doing? It's crazy. It's great to have Tony back, right? I mean, we love him. I love him like a son. I'm loving him like a bad guy loves a son, right? But man, I think part of him may have died in that cave. He's not the same Tony. And Pepper's like, yeah, he's just tired. He's going through a lot. He's like, you know what, Pepper? And he looks at her, check. He's just fucking drinking. It's like Tony always gets the best stuff. Just being fucking villainous as fuck. There's no doubt about that. Did the files really say evil plan? I'm not. Yes, Doom. Of course they did. No, they didn't. I'm joking. That's a little bit of exaggeration. What they say, it's like, I think it is marked like 10 rings. Like one folder is marked 10 rings, another one's called Ironmonger Project, Ironmonger Mark 1 or something. But there's a line where she's like saying like, yeah, I guess she's just stressed. And then we just see Jeff Bridges goes, after he's like this, Chaz. He's like drinking some whiskey. Pepper, you're one hell of a lady. He's like, where is this fucking going? Tony's real lucky to have you. He's like, and we're real lucky to have Tony. He goes, yep. Yes, we are. Some hashtag me too shit. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Being weird as fuck. I mean, the thing is, Jeff Bridges' like fucking paradigm shift is just fucking nuts in this film. The thing is, like, it's funny, chap. Thank you, show, for the 20 biddies. Cheers to you. It's like a few years ago, I was like, you know what? It's funny. A lot of people forget that Jeff Bridges was in the MCU. Because I was like, you know what? Like years ago. I was like, you know what? It'll be so cool for phase 4. It'd be great if they got like Jeff Bridges to come in and play like a Marvel villain or a Marvel hero or something. I mean, I love Jeff. He'd be great. And I forgot that he was in fucking Iron Man as Obadiah Stane. Yeah, it's too bad because he's such a talented actor, and I felt like he was wasting this role, chap. It's not a great villain. It did start the trend of very uninteresting Marvel villains, with the exception of Loki, of course, at this time. And eventually we're in a better place now of Marvel villains. As I said, Loki's great. Thanos is amazing. We all love Thanos. Thanos is my favorite so far. Killmonger is great in Black Panther. Love Killmonger. Love the Vulture. Love Mysterio. Love their takes on all these villains. But they're getting better. They're certainly getting better. Even some other Ego is great. Ego is very good. I love Kurt Russell. You guys know that. I love fucking Kurt Russell. That's my. I thought I was wearing my Thing shirt, but no, I love Kurt Russell. So they had gotten better. Just back in the day, it's like oof, it was rough. It was pretty fucking rough. And so, she's about to leave chat, and he's like, wait, Pepper. And she's like, oh, what? She's like, can I have the paper? Is that today's paper? She goes, yes, it is. And he's like, for the puzzles. I love the puzzles. I love the crosswords. She's like, okay, that's great. See you later. And he's like, he lets her leave. He's like, that fucking bitch was at my computer. He goes on the computer chat, logs in. He's like, shit, she downloaded the evil plan. He's like, I love it, chat. You watch the movie, he goes, he gets up. He does nothing, by the way. He does nothing. He just watches her leave. He goes, damn it. And she goes back, trying to call that. And then we're at Tony's Malibu residence. And then Tony, he's on his couch. He's like, and gets a good old call from Pepper Potts. And I think he tries maybe to call Rhodey at one point or something. I think he calls Rhodey at one point. And he's like, Rhodey, come to the house or whatever. And he gets a call from Pepper. He's like, oh, shit, I'm going to answer. What's up, Pepper? And then the fucking Obadiah Stane's there with the paralysis technology. He's like, Tony. And he's like, I'm the bad guy. He's like, I know. I always know. And she's saying all this shit about Pepper's on the phone. And it's like, he's the villain. He has the evil plan and shit and the 10 rings and Ironmonger armor. He goes, enough of that. Time to monologue. He's like, Tony, I'm the one that set up your execution, you know? And the thing is, like, I was unsure about that because you are the goose that always lays the golden eggs. You always come up with the big ideas, Tony. And I was a little nervous about that, but through all this, you gave the world his greatest weapon. He fucking takes this weird like suction cup thing and he plugs it in his chest and he rips out the arc reactor. Tony's like, oh! And he's like, you see that? I love this kind of intimate. He has his arm around Tony. He's like, yeah, this is so beautiful. This is your greatest creation. I think he references like your ninth symphony. It's your ninth symphony, Tony. Tony. He was like, all right, well, I'm going to use this to create like an evil giant suit. Bye-bye. And so he goes over to the fucking thing. And he plugs the thing in and stuff. And oh, by the way, Gwyneth Paltrow, she runs into Clark Gregg, right onto the Agent Coulson. He's like, we have a meeting. It's like the 5th time we're going to have a meeting right now. And she informs him that Obadiah Stane is evil. And he gets a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents yet. We don't know they're S.H.I.E.L.D. agents yet. And eventually they go to the headquarters of Stark Industries to stop Obadiah Stane from unleashing his evil suit. What was Obadiah Stane's long-term plan at this point when he was discovered? What the fuck was he going to do? That's not explained. The way that scene is shot adds to the. No, it's great. I love it. Like the thing is, he's doing. It's so frustrating, chat. Like Jeff Bridges is doing a good job, but the role itself is just so bleh. It's so blasé. But he's at least doing a good job of what he's given. It's disappointing. I don't blame him. Honestly, I just blame the writing. I blame the writing in this case for the villain. It's the case of who should be the hero's enemy. An evil, bigger version of him. That's what it is. It's the same except bigger and more evil. Got it. Same thing with Venom and Spider-Man, Chad. It's like that's why I don't like Venom. He's a boring character. And so Tony, he's not doing well, Chad, because he's trying to get the fucking heart. He's trying to get over there, trying to plug that fucking shit inside of himself. It's not working out. Eventually, he's like, oh, he's just about to go into cardiac arrest. He's like, it's over. It's dead because he knows because Pepper gives him a gift on his birthday, and it's the heart. Proof that Tony Stark has a heart. It's the one thing he made in the cave. And he's like, if I put that inside myself, I'll be good. But he can't reach it, chap. But oh, thankfully, Dummy is there. The arm, and it presents it to him. He's like, okay, you're not dumb. And he busts it on open, chap. And then we cut. Then we cut to Gwyneth Paltrow and Clark Gregg. Good old Agent Coulson, chat. They're infiltrating the compound of one Obadiah Stane. They're busting out in there using their shield technology, chat. And Obi, he's fucking scared. He's like, oh, I gotta get moving and grooving. He puts the fucking arc reactor inside the Ironmonger suit, chat. Plugs himself in there. Now, a bit of a plot hole. I don't know how Obadiah Stane was able to use his armor like that. Like Tony, they showcase, and this is an issue. They showcase Tony like really struggling to get used to the armor, like learn it. And here, Obadiah Stane knows like that. This might as well be, I guess, this is the first time he's ever in the suit because he has the power source. So, bit of a plot hole right here. Bit of a plot hole right there, chat. And so eventually, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and Gwyneth Paltrow, they infiltrate the thing. They're trying to look for him and whatever. But they're like, oh, I guess she is building a suit because they see the Mark 1 armor. And Gwyneth Paltrow's like, I thought it'd be bigger. And because it's on the plans look bigger. And she's fucking looking around the room, chat. She's behind these chains. Random chains, like in the darkness, chat. And then these fucking eyes appear. And it's actually a cool scene when the fucking Ironmonger armor stands up and shit and tries to grab her. And all these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are like, what the fuck? And he's just stepping on them, chat. He's fucking hitting them. Misses Clark Gregg by the goddamn mile. He survived. I thought he died originally in this movie, but he survived. Saw him in the end. But he's fucking killed all these other guys. And Ironmonger tries to grab Pepper. He's like, Pepper bots. He misses her, chat. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Stark residence, his Malibu mansion. Thank you for the 5 biddies. I just assume he heavily relied on computer systems to use suit. Yeah, that's what you got to go with. It's called, to Bushman, it's juicy. It's called movie magic. Yeah, that's how you have to go with it. It's like, okay, I'm fine with it, but it's like, I'll let it go. Because this is the weakest part of the film, sadly, chat. It's kind of an uninspired action scene between Iron Man and larger Iron Man. And so we're back at the Stark residence, and Rhodey Rhodes is there. Tony tried to call him, and he's like, "Oh, fucking Tony, are you okay?" And he pulls him on over. Chet, he has the heart in here. He's like, "I'm okay. I gotta get suited up." So he gets suited up, Chet. And he's like, Rhodey, I'll meet you there. There is a deleted scene of Rhodey fighting Ironmonger, hitting him with a car, Chet, but it was taken out of the movie because it was goofy and didn't work very well. And Tony's like, "Okay, I'll see you there, okay? Warn the military that Obadiah Stane has gone crazy." And he blasts off, Chet, and then we get the fucking line of fucking Terrence Howard, Rhodey Rhodes, looking over to the Mark II armor, and he says, "Next time, baby. Next time, but there will never be a next time." It's like, ooh. That has not aged well. But again, I'll give, as I said, Chet, I thought Terrence Howard did a really good job in this role. I thought he had great chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. I'm sad that he didn't. He brought on himself though. I mean, he wanted more money, and he was like, it's too bad. Womp womp, womp womp, chap. Yeah, now it's unintentionally funny, that scene. Unintentionally funny. And so, meanwhile, those happen. We cut back to the. Oh yeah, Tony Stark. He's flying the Mark III armor, and Jarvis, how much power do I got? It's like we have 48% power. Based on this arc reactor here, it was not meant for sustained flight, so you have a limited amount of time to use this armor. He's like, shit, doesn't matter. We gotta get over there. We gotta save Pepper. Then we cut to Pepper. She gets a call from Tony. She's like, exposition. Tony, fucking Jeff Bridges, he's evil, and he has a giant armor suit, and he's trying to kill me. And Clark Gregg was there. I don't know what happened to Clark Gregg. He might be dead. I don't know. I guess we'll find out at the end of the movie. And then all of a sudden, shit, this is kind of cool. Ironmonger's comes out from below the ground. He's like a fucking he's like a fucking mole, and he comes out. He's like, "Your services will no longer be required." He has like this giant Gatling gun on his arm, and then Tony comes like, "Yeah!" Tony comes there. He's like, "What?" And they fucking hits him, chap. He hits him back in the ground. Weird trajectory path. Hits them back in the ground. They go into the workshop area, and then they burst out of the side of the building. I don't know how that works. And now they're on open traffic, chat. Like Tony, he hits a fucking truck. Obadiah Stane hits a goddamn car. And it's like, vehicle almost hits Ironmonger. It's like a fucking mother and her 5 kids. And they're like, Chad, almost get him. A minivan. And then Tony's like, "Don't hurt him." And that's like, why do you say that? I have to hurt you with them. He grabs the fucking minivan of the kids and mother, and he's like, "Collateral damage, Tony!" And he tries to smash Iron Man with the kids. Those kids are dead. That mother and children are dead, Chad. Just trying to smash him. But Iron Man does grab it, and eventually he fucking sets him down. Ironmonger's doing some evil shit, sets him down, Chip, but the mother's like, just puts the fucking, she doesn't know who Iron Man is, she doesn't know who the fuck this guy is. She fucking hits the goddamn accelerator, Chet, and he's getting run over. He's like stuck underneath the car, it's got all scraped up and shit. And then she's like, "Oh my god, that was painful." Ironmonger fucking grabs him, Chet, throws him into the goddamn bus, and he's like, and he fucking blasts a rock at him, Chet. But he misses because Iron Man, he gets out of there in the last second. And he sees that Iron Man is flying, which, of course, he was flying. And then Ironmonger's like, "Oh, I see you upgrade your suit." "Well, I got some upgrades, too." And then oh, shit, Ironmonger armor can also fly, Chet, albeit very slowly, very slowly. But Iron Man, he has an idea. He's like, I bet he doesn't solve the icing problem. So he blasts off into the air, Chet, and eventually he notices all the ice starts to accumulate on Ironmonger. And Ironmonger does catch up to him, Chad, starts because the reactor starts to malfunction a bit because of the sustained flight. He's like, "Tony, my suit is more advanced than yours in every single way." And Tony asks him, "So how'd you deal with the icing problem?" Jeff Bridges is like, the icing problem? What?" And then all of his fucking system shut down, and he falls to Earth, Chad. Jeff Bridges is defeated. He's dead. He's not dead. And Iron Man, he flies down, he lands on the roof, and then for whatever reason begins taking off his armor. I don't understand. He's like, "I'm going to take off my fucking armor now." I was like, why? Why are you doing this? And then while he's doing this shit, takes the helmet off and shit, and then Ironmonger shows, "I'm alive," and he starts blasting him, and Tony's like, grabs on the Tony, and, this would be kind of scary, chap, because he has this one, this always freaked me out when I watch this movie, he has this one hand that has no armor on it, he's just like kind of grabbing onto it with his hand, like if fucking Ironmonger go around to the hand, just fucking smushed it. Oh, it would have been terrifying. Ugh. But he uses the flare system to basically get himself off of Ironmonger. Like it creates a reaction that he has to just like let him go, and then he grows onto the back of Ironmonger, and he rips out like his optical wires and shit, so it shuts down all the camera system, so he can't see. And so Jeff Bridges has to open up the armor. And so he's revealed. He's like, Tony, it's like you wanted to rid the world of weapons, and you gave it its best one ever. And like Tony, he's like his armor's all shit. It's been pretty destroyed, and so he's kind of standing over this glass precipice, and he's ordered Pepper Potts overload the reactor so it kills Obadiah Stane, but you'll die. He's like, it doesn't matter. I gotta save the world. And we get like, I think Obadiah Stane's last line in this movie is like, hold still, you little prick. That's of all the lines you go on. Hold still, you little prick. And eventually he's trying to hit him with the missiles. Hits him with the fucking machine gun. He's holding on for his goddamn life. Pulls himself over this precipice. He's like, fucking hit it, Pepper. She fucking hits it, chat. And boom! Big chain reaction. And Jumper just goes, Aah! Actually, that's his last line, chat. Just fucking screaming as his insides are cooked inside of him. And then he's like, Aah! And he falls into the reactor, chat, and he explodes. And then we get a good old cut to Tony Stark. The arc reactor is just kind of fizzing in and out. It's going in and out, chat. Pepper's like, Tony! And then we cut, chat. What happened? We don't know what happened. Now he's fine. Tony's fine, Chad. He's doing A-okay. And he's going to hold another press conference. Good old James Rhodes is there. He tells him, James, just tell him that this was a complete test of military technology. They'll never believe that. Just fucking tell him. He goes in, does the press conference, Chad. It's a test of military technology. Then we cut to the makeup room, and Clark Gregg, good old Agent Coulson's like, okay, we got to cover a story for you, Tony. Iron Man, he's your bodyguard. That's why he was at the premises. That's what he was doing. He was defending Stark equipment. You were on a yacht with fucking Pepper Potts. You were just banging. You were having crazy hot sex. Obadiah Stane, he was in a flight, fucking crashed. He's dead. He's dead and buried. He's gone. You gonna end here today? He's like, of course I'll hear to that. And he's like, all right, I'll see you later. And then good old Pepper Potts, she walks up to good old Clark Gregg, and she's like, hey, Clark Gregg, just want to again thank you for all your support. I'm sorry for the deaths of your men at the strategic homeland intervention. She's like, just call us SHIELD. He's like, will do. And that when they said SHIELD, chat, I was just like, oh, people were so excited about that. That was great. And then it's like, okay. And then Tony Stark goes out there. And he's like, oh, Pepper, I'll read my cue cards. It won't be an issue at all. And, Clark Gregg, he's standing out there, too. He's like, all right, just read your fucking cue cards. So he's like, of course. He goes out there. He's like, hey, everybody. Think I'm going to stick to the cue cards this time. Yeah, so I just wanted to let everyone know that I was not involved whatsoever with this event. And the reporter lady says, Kathy, I guess, she's like, are you telling us, Mr. Stark, that this Iron Man, if you will, is your bodyguard? It's like that you in fact are not Iron Man, that you are not this person. And it's like, yeah, I guess I guess I couldn't be a superhero. He said, I didn't say you were a superhero. You didn't? Okay, because that would be, I guess, inaccurate, but also really fucking cool. And he's like, no, in matter of fact, guys, and to tell you the truth, what I was doing is, and he pauses chat, and he looks up, and he says, I am Iron Man. And wow, I am Iron Man. Then, just amazing moment. I love that. I was like, what? He revealed his secret identity. It was so cool. It was unheard of, Chad. It was fucking unheard of. And then as we get the wonderful end credits segment, but then we fucking get it, Chad. The movie's not over. Not yet. Not fucking. It's great. Great note. Dan. I was like, what? It was like, what's going to happen next? But then we get the moment. We were back at Tony Stark's Malibu residence, and Jarvis is malfunctioning for some reason. Like, Jarvis, what's wrong? What's wrong? And fucking we see in chat, we see hot leather daddy, Samuel L. Jackson. And he's like, Mr. Stark, you didn't think you were the only superhero in this big wide world. And Robert Downey Jr. is like, who the hell are you? It's like, my name is Nick Fury. I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. What? The Avengers Initiative? Are you fucking kidding me? Now, Chad, when I first saw this, I was like, what? Are you planning Avengers? I didn't believe it. I was like, no, we're not going to get this. Like I said before, Chad, yeah, we'll get an Avengers movie in 10 goddamn years. And we did. We were on the fourth one by then. We were on the fourth Avengers film at that point. Unfucking-leavable. Crazy. Because there's a colossal dumbass moment on my part when I saw this theaters. I didn't know to stay through the credits, so I had no idea Samuel L. Jackson scene ever existed. It's over a year later when the first footage from Iron Man 2 leaked from Comic-Con. Whoa, that's nuts, man. Whoa, that was cool. It blew everyone away. People didn't believe that, though, at first. People were like, nah, whatever. Yeah, that's what you say, but that's never going to happen. And then here we are. Chat. Yeah, simply fuck crib. All these amazing characters all together and all their separate franchises. It's been a hell of a ride. And all star of this film, it all started with the original 2008 Jon Favreau directed, Robert Downey Jr. starring in Iron Man, chat. Now, this was history made. Absolutely, Rocket Birdie. Absolutely. Humble beginnings. Yeah, well, it's humble. Think about it in hindsight. Chad. To me, this is the best of the Phase 1 films. It has its issues. The third act, the final act, is the weakest part of the film. It's just Iron Man versus bigger Iron Man. Jeff Bridges just becomes very generic bad guy, which is frustrating because he's a good actor. I wish they did more with him. Overall, Chad, this to me is a solid full price film. It's one. Hey, watching it again, I was like, wow, it's such a, in terms of dialogue and most of the characters, it does such a great job establishing a lot of great things we'll see come to fruition later on. But also just establishing who Iron Man is, who Tony Stark is, and revitalizing the career of one Robert Downey Jr. So yeah, it's a solid full price in my opinion, Jeff. Still holds up, absolutely. Effects, yeah, still it's like there might be like one or two, like a little wonky, but overall, no, the effects still hold up to this day.